We've got some breaking news here to talk about on Giants Now by Chat Sports Today. Video number 3 of the day. That's why you subscribe. There's been some talk over the past 48 hours of what is going on with Micah McFadden. He had to leave this season opener on a cart with his leg in an air cast. There was initial reports saying the Giants may have dodged a bullet, but we are now learning that it is a major injury and he is going to miss major time. So before we dive into that, just show your inside linebackers some love. I feel awful for Micah McFadden. He has become one of the longest tenured players on this team, and he represents what it means to be a New York Giant. So type those 41s, his jersey number, down in the comment section. Mike Garafolo was the one to break the news, saying Giants linebacker Micah McFadden will miss a significant part of the season with a foot injury suffered versus the Commanders. X-rays on game day were negative, but further testing showed McFadden will be out a while. The hope is it won't be for the entire season. This is devastating news for McFadden and the ripple effect it's going to have on this defense. And sounds like it might be for a long time, and he's about to undergo surgery. Jordan Renan saying linebacker Micah McFadden will have surgery on his foot. He will miss significant time, as others have noted. McFadden is likely to return this season. That's good news. Significant loss for the Giants. McFadden had 107 tackles last season. I actually think he's coming off of back-to-back 100 tackle seasons, and that's the first time a Giant has done that in a long time. Hopefully a speedy recovery for him. Foot injuries are always sketchy. So I'm praying and hoping the best for Micah McFadden. This is a major loss, though, for the New York Giants. McFadden is not an all-pro level player. He's not even a Pro Bowl level player. But he is the glue to this New York Giants defense, and we saw how much he was missed once he left the game against the Commanders, how open the middle of the field was, and the lack of plays that this Giants inside linebacker room was making. Back-to-back 100-yard seasons for McFadden. That is going to be hard to replace. Excuse me. And that is going to be hard to replicate. 107 tackles last year, 101 in 2023. Played in 30 football games over the last 2 years. He has been dependable. 20 tackles for loss, 4 sacks, and he had 41 stops in 2024 and 36 stops in 2023. If you're asking Marshall, what is a stop? It's essentially a play that is considered a negative outcome for the offense. PFF defines it as a tackle that constitutes as a failure for the offense. He made a lot of plays, and there are big shoes to be filled now at this inside linebacker spot. I think my first question is it going to be Darius Muasau? Is it going to be Demetrius Flannigan-Fowles? Can it be Chris Board? Is the replacement on this roster? I'm going to go on a limb and say probably not. But you know what? It's National Football League. Next man up mentality. And Darius Muasau is going to be the player that has his name called first. Second-year player after being a 6th-round pick at UCLA. The New York Giants supposedly really like Darius Muasau. They love his leadership. They love the energy and attitude that he brings inside the building. The question now is, are they in love with him as a football player? Because there's a difference between being that third inside linebacker to you're now going to be on the football field 85% of the snaps and the first play of the game. He had 2 tackles in week 1, but it was not a great showing for Muasau. Pro Football Focus graded him out at a 30 overall. That was the lowest of any player that touched the field for the New York Giants defense in week 1. So not good there. Is he the guy? I'm not so sure. The Commanders took advantage of Muasau immediately. I think it was the first play he came into the game. They targeted Zach Ertz on the left side of the field, and he caught it and ran in the end zone for the first touchdown of the season. The middle of the field was wide open, partially because of Muasau, partially because of Bobby Okereke, and the New York Giants safeties were invisible unless they were called for holding, which seemed like every time on a big passing play. Had 55 tackles in his rookie year. Thought he had some nice moments. Caught that interception in his NFL debut against the Minnesota Vikings when Sam Darnold had that pass tipped up in the air by Dexter Lawrence. But don't get it mistaken. This is a player that was drafted in the 6th round for a reason. He was primarily looked as a special teams guy, and he's got a long way to go to be a contributor on defense and fill those shoes of McFadden. His PFF grade last year, 58.9. Run defense, 68.1. Tackling, 57.9. Pass rush, 51.1. In coverage was 50.4. What's your confidence level in Darius Muasau? If you had to scale it from 1 to 10, 10 being you got the most confidence in him, 1, you got no confidence in him, sound off for me. I got more thoughts about what the New York Giants could do at that inside linebacker spot. First, though, I got to tell you about our proud sponsor of today's video, and that is Chubbies. Go to chubbyshorts.com/chatsports and get $10 off your order today. The leaves are turning, the temps are dropping, and the weekend air is getting that nice autumn crisp. Just because the weather is changing over doesn't mean you have to pack away the fun. Chubbies is here to make sure your fall wardrobe is ready to rock and roll with soft, stretchy, fall-ready staples built for maximum comfort and minimal effort. Mark your calendars. The Chubbies Fall Collection drops September 9th, and it's packed with cozy gear that brings the metaphorical and real heat. And later this month, they're launching their new Comfort Collection featuring the Everywhere Jogger. It's the perfect pant for impromptu naps, weekend errands, and everything in between. Comfy, casual, and built for life. That's what the Chubbies original stretch shorts are about. Whether you're layering up for tailgates, lounging through lazy Sundays, or just leaning fully into fall comfort, Chubbies has you covered. For a limited time, Chubbies is giving our real ones here at Giants Now by Chat Sports $10 off with the code ChatSports at chubbyshorts.com. That's code ChatSports at chubbyshorts.com. Support the show and show your thighs some respect with Chubbies. All that information will be clickable down in the comments and description of today's video. Alrighty, so I think the first thing the Giants are going to potentially look at is to have Abdul Carter potentially play a little bit more off-ball linebacker. That is what he played coming out of high school. That is what he started his career at Penn State. His first 2 years there, he did play inside linebacker, and he was a bad man. He was one of the best in college football doing it. Had 56 tackles as a true freshman, 11 tackles for loss, 6.5 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, and 4 pass breakups. Returned for a sophomore season, 49 more tackles, 6 tackles for loss, 4.5 more sacks, 1 forced fumble, and 5 pass breakups. So if the Giants want to move Abdul Carter to inside linebacker, I believe he can do it. I think he's going to have the ability to be an impact player there. But to be honest, I don't want that to happen. Abdul Carter is so good at football, there is a thought that he can play multiple positions on the field, which he can. That's a credit to how damn good he is at this sport. But I don't want to take him off the edge. What he is best at is getting after the passer, making plays in the backfield, wreaking havoc and making life hell for opposing offensive tackles. Just because he can do something, I don't want to rip him away from what he does best. That's like, for instance, let's say Mariano Rivera. He had 2 pitches, and he was great at it. But he could throw a changeup, so let's do it. No, there's no need to do that. Let him do what he does best, which is put his hand in the dirt and get after quarterbacks. Fortunately, you might see it, but I don't think it's the right idea. So you look at the other 2 linebackers that are on this team, Chris Board and Demetrius Flannigan-Fowles. Both these guys are not inside linebackers. They are special teams superstars that play linebacker, but they don't really contribute there. To put it into perspective, Chris Board has played in 115 games, but he's only played in 1,074 defensive snaps. He only has 155 tackles and 115 games played, meaning he doesn't play defense. And the same with Demetrius Flannigan-Fowles. He's been in the NFL for a while, but he is a special teamer. Only 649 defensive snaps in his NFL career, where he has played in 74 games, been in the NFL since 2020 with the San Francisco 49ers. So maybe you play those guys. Maybe it's Darius Muasau. I think they need to make a move at inside linebacker. And we always talk about, and people always ask me, Marshall, what are your biggest needs for the New York Giants? A playmaking inside linebacker is rising up that list. I think Bobby Okereke will be off this football team by this time next year, and Micah McFadden is set to be a free agent. Are the Giants going to cash out McFadden, or is he going to get cashed out somewhere else after sustaining a very serious foot injury that causes surgery and expecting him to miss a large chunk of the season? It is week 2 of the NFL season, meaning you're still a free agent. It's probably not a good thing for you in your career. So there's some guys out there, like there's some names here: Josie Jewell, Devondre Campbell, Hammond Davis, former, I think he was a first-round pick. Isaiah Simmons, once a Giant, always a Giant. Carter Coughlin, once a Giant, always a Giant. Raekwon McMillan, Jalen Smith, once a Giant, always a Giant. You could bring in Duke Riley out of LSU. Kruger Hill, he could play a little bit. Like, you're in a bad spot. You came into the season with no real depth at inside linebacker, and now you're having to pay the price for it. I'd look at Josie Jewell. Maybe I look at other teams' practice squads. I don't know. I think a move needs to be made, because if Demetrius Flannigan-Fowles and Chris Board are having to eat up a lot of snaps, as well as Darius Muasau, it's not going to bode well for this Giants defense. Big loss for Micah McFadden. Name a free agent linebacker you want this team to sign. Make sure you are following me on social media and you are subscribed to the channel. We're able to put out more content, 3 videos today, because you guys continue to show love. So if you want more free content, hit that thumbs up icon and subscribe.